Good morning, students. Today we will start with the transportation in animals, that is about the circulatory system. Actually, circulatory system transports all the materials in the body of the animals like oxygen, carbon dioxide along with the blood. So, today we will study about the transportation system. Human beings, like other multicellular organisms, need regular supply of food, oxygen, etc. This function is performed by circulatory system or transport system. Actually, when we take in food, it is mixed with oxygen, then only energy is liberated. So, oxygen is needed for the breakdown of the food and the liberation of the energy. So, how do the oxygen comes from each and every part of the digestive system to burn or churn the food to produce energy? This is done by the circulatory system or the transport system. Now, the second point is the circulatory system in human being consists of pumping organ. Pumping organ is heart, blood vessels, arteries and veins. You have already learnt in previous classes that there are two vessels or the two tubes which carry the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood from heart to different parts of the body and again from different body parts to the heart, and the circulatory system like the blood and the lymph. In this schematic diagram, you can see the deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body is collected by the vena cava or the superior vein and it goes back into the right atrium. Then from the right atrium, the deoxygenated blood goes to the right ventricle. From right ventricle, this deoxygenated blood goes into the lungs. Second part is that from the lungs, oxygenated blood from the pulmonary vein is picked by the lungs and then it transport into the left atrium. From the left atrium, this oxygenated blood goes into the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, main artery or aorta takes that blood and fuses with the or diffuses in the body parts. And again from the body parts, all the deoxygenated blood goes back into the lungs via the right atrium and the right ventricle. Now, you can see the diagram of the heart. You can also draw the diagram of heart in your copy and label the parts. Here you can see the pulmonary arteries, pulmonary veins. Actually, in the heart, the pulmonary artery carries the deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body to the lungs, and pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from lungs to the heart. Then the heart is four chambered. The upper two chambers are known as atria and the lower two chambers are known as ventricle. The left atrium and the right atrium, then on the lower part, left ventricle and the right ventricle. Both the atrium or the ventricle from left side to the right side is divided by a or separated by a wall. That wall is known as septum. Now, double circulation, this is very important. Actually, in human being or in the aves and the mammals, double circulation occurs. Blood travels twice through the heart in one complete cycle of the body. That means blood goes twice the heart in one complete cycle, and the first cycle is known as the pulmonary circulation. In pulmonary circulation, blood moves from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart. That means from the right atrium it goes to the lungs and again from lungs by the pulmonary vein it goes into the left atrium. So, this is known as the pulmonary circulation. That means upper half of the circulation of the heart from lungs to the left atrium and again from the right atrium to the lungs. This is known as the pulmonary circulation. Second one is the systemic circulation. The blood moves from the heart to the rest of the body and back to the heart. That means here also from heart to the body, rest of the body. That means when the blood goes into the left atrium, it moves towards the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, it goes to the rest of the body, and again from rest of the body, it moves to the right atrium and then right ventricle. So, first case, blood moves from heart to the lungs and back to the heart, and in the second case, blood moves from the heart to the rest of the body and back to the heart. This is known as the double circulation. Double circulation is necessary for all the aves and the mammals or the terrestrial animals, because they need constant supply of energy to do various types of work or the metabolic work. Now, you have already learned in class 9th what is blood. Blood is a fluid connective tissue. Solid component of the blood is RBC, WBC and platelets. RBC carries respiratory gas like the oxygen and carbon dioxide, contain HB. HB means hemoglobin. The short form of hemoglobin is written as capital H and small b. It gives red color to the blood. And the second component is a WBC. It provides, WBC means white blood corpuscles. It is mostly formed on the long bone marrows inside our body. It provides the body defense by engulfing the germs and producing antibodies. That means it fight against the diseases or fight against the foreign bodies which enter our body. Now, the blood platelets, it helps in the blood clotting. Now, liquid component is the plasma. So, what is plasma? Plasma is a yellow color fluid, contains 90% water and 10% organic substances. So, plasma is a yellow color fluid while blood is a red color fluid because of the presence of hemoglobin. And organic substances like plasma, proteins, albumin, globulin, inorganic minerals or ions is present in the plasma. Now, lymph, a yellowish fluid that escapes from the blood capillaries. Capillaries is a very fine network of tubes which connect arteries and veins inside the circulatory system or inside the body. So, a yellowish fluid that escapes from the blood capillaries. Blood capillaries it escapes from the blood capillaries into the intercellular spaces. The spaces between the two cells is known as the intercellular spaces. Lymph flows from the tissues to the heart, assisting in transportation and destroying germs. That means the direction of the flow of lymph from tissue to the heart. And what is the function? It helps in the transportation of various substances like proteins, etc. and it helps in the destroying the germs. Now, blood vessels, you have already learned it is of two types, arteries and veins. This is again very important topic, differentiate between arteries and veins. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from heart to body part except pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery is present on the right side of the heart on the upper chamber, which carries deoxygenated blood and moves this blood to the lungs. Now, veins carry deoxygenated blood from body parts to the heart except pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from lungs to the left artery. Now, the second one also called distributing vessels, and it is veins is called the collecting vessel. Why it is called distributing vessels? Because it pour the oxygenated blood into the body tissue. And veins, why it is called the collecting vessels? Because it collect the deoxygenated blood from the body to and goes give it to the heart. Arteries have thick and elastic walls. Veins have thin and less elastic. Why arteries have thick and elastic walls? Because it has to take the oxygenated blood and give or reaches or transport it to all parts of the body with high pressure. So, it needs the wall to be thick and elastic. Veins walls are thin and less elastic. In arteries, valves absent because no backflow of the blood is needed, but in veins, veins carry deoxygenated blood. So, valves are present to prevent backflow of the blood. Arteries, it is deeply seated while veins are the superficial. Now, transportation in plants. Transportation in plants means There are two main conducting tissues in a plant, xylem and phloem. You have already learnt in class 9th about the complex tissues. Xylem and phloem are the complex tissues, but here we are considering it as a transportation organ. So, xylem and phloem helps in the conducting of water and minerals from roots to the different parts of the plant, and again food from different parts of the plant, or especially leaf to the other parts of the plant. Now, conducting tissue, xylem carries water and minerals from the roots to other parts of the plant. Phloem carries product of photosynthesis from leaves to the other parts of the plant. Xylem no energy is used, phloem energy is used from ATP. Xylem, the direction is unidirectional, while the phloem it is multidirectional. Now, transpiration is the process by which plants lose water in the form of vapors, and role of transpiration, absorption and upward movement of water and minerals by creating pull or the suction, helps in temperature regulation in plants. Translocation, transport of fruit from leaves to different parts of the plant is called translocation. So, transpiration is the loss of excess water from the plant parts in the form of vapor, while translocation, transport of food from leaves to different parts of the plant is called translocation. So, phloem does the work of the translocation.